And so the stream begins.
No, the stream.
Ah!
Not the stream.
Hope you enjoyed that noise. It's the most energy that's gonna happen this stream.
It sure is.
Hi there. How you doing?
Hello, bear.
How bear? Ah!
I know enough about D&D to know that's a frightening thing to say.
It's my
Even
cat,
if-
question mark.
What's happening up here?
Some experiences. My doodle is also having some experiences.
They might have had the same experience. Oh, cat.
Oh, cat. Yeah, cat.
Bunny, cat, who knows, really?
Look, I set the precedent here
I mean, look.
of not being able to draw cats, so you're allowed to also fall into that category. Cats are great.
It's
When
a
you
creature.
abstract something that much, it's sometimes hard to tell.
Sometimes it's just the shape, really.
It's less an animal and more vibes.
Yeah, definitely vibes. The vibes are whatever that is. Whatever that vibe is.
The vibes are the opposite of immaculate. The vibes are atrocious.
The vibes are atrocious, that's what it is.
Vibes are in need of professional cleaning.
Yeah.
Is my professional cleaning. Solved. Unfortunately, due to the colour that I draw with, it does look a bit jokery. I'm gonna want to do that.
A little bit.
I want to give it a Chelsea smile. Anyway, hi. We're here for chill doodle times. The chill is doesn't need to be enforced today. It's just gonna happen. The doodle, however, probably requires some effort. So, does that make it better? It's giving customer service. Pained smile. Oh yeah, I should probably put shuffle on so we don't end up with all of the Adrian von Ziegler first.
But what if?
What if? What if we harken back to our old Forest of Doom days?
Eddie. One place.
Hey, have we had days?
Days were had. They sure were days.
They sure were days. They were the...
You were dazed.
We're all days. Commissions is finished. That's good.
Hell yeah.
Next one starts tomorrow. That's not how it's supposed to work. It's supposed to have a day off.
I'm.
Happens.
We already have a vibe for tonight.
And it isn't getting a big one.
It's not. The vibe is cat question mark.
The vibe is this.
That's the vibe.
Hell yeah. How is everyone? We repeat.
That.
Bear's not taking time off, you see. I know. Which means I will find whoever organises their schedule and kick them. But then realise it's Bear and not kick them. But instead do the look that I give my mum when she never takes time for herself either. You need rest, everyone. You all need rest.
No.
Yes. This is non-negotiable.
I think it is.
You're innocent in some reality. And you're a war criminal in others. Then again, in that reality, being nice is a war crime. Realities are weird. Still recovering from burnout. Oh no. Yeah, that wasn't really burnout, but my week has very much been. I did in the Patreon update on Monday. I was very much like, I'm running on all of the inspiration. I need to work out how to make like an inspiration reservoir so that when it eventually runs out, I can like trickle off the excess. And then as soon as I posted that, I lost all energy and enthusiasm to do anything.
Naturally. Cool.
It was immediate. It was wonderful. By wonderful, I mean awful.
Mm-hmm. Understandable.
But it's picking up now. We're not too bad now. How's Noktober going? Haven't made a lot of progress since the cheap stream.
So fantastic.
Yeah. But looking back on what I did make during that stream, it's going alright. I don't hate it. You've drafted posts like that, and when it came time to post them, you were lying. See, you got to do it like me. You got to make it up on the day. You don't plan these things.
See, I guess the next question is the style you're currently working on something that you have to make up how it handles the character, or is your life a little bit easier than the last two?
This one, I've mentioned before, Jupiter got very lucky. So it fits him very well, which is a struggle for me because I don't have anywhere to hide. So
Fair enough.
no October, no OC-tober. Not no OC-tober, it's all OCs. But it's no October because it's not October. You've got Bratz art style. That would have been great. That would have been way easy.
Yeah, short-haired Jupiter is cursed as hell. I will say.
Short-haired Jupiter's great.
No, he's not. He is awful.
The best he's ever looked.
Honestly, all accurate. The forced Jupiter and Unland sign of arguments by sending pictures of one another when they had short hair.
That feels cursed.
Yeah. I think Jupiter is worse off than Ulan in that situation.
I mean, Oolong could probably get away with that, like, slick back style, where you can, it's sort of hard to tell from the front how long the hair actually is.
Yeah, exactly.
Jupiter's got too much fluff.
Yeah.
Doing to find Theo's bag of brandies. Oh, it's much worse than that. I can't remember what it was we were talking about it that made me think about this, but
I mean, I guess that does bring up a potential question. Can Luna eat brownies? Or is this a chocolate is bad for dogs type situation?
they're bad for wolves. Is chocolate bad for wolves?
I mean,
She's a wolf woman, so...
Bug and what's a wolf is which one's gonna bite you immediately, and that's not even a great
Yeah.
dividing line, considering most wolves will just sort of sniff you, and some dogs will bite you.
Yep.
Like, species-wise, they are technically the same species, I believe.
Oh.
And Jupiter, you're just a smug little baby like that. I hate you. So much. That's the right reaction to have. Apparently, all this time, all his good vibes were stored in the fluff, and then we take it away. He sucks.
Yeah, I wanted to double check, and I just looked. The gray wolf and domestic dog are put into the same category of Canis. So, like, as far as biology is concerned, these are the same thing. We've just done some weird stuff to some of them to make them look very different.
You take it away and you see why him and Cuthbert are friends. Oh no.
Jupiter would very much disagree with that statement.
Oh god. I mean, yeah. Besties, absolutely.
I almost feel like... And maybe it's just because I'm going off of random vibes I keep seeing from various pictures of the two of them, instead of being live there with the roleplayed, seeing how they interact. It wouldn't surprise me if both Cuthbert and Jupiter assumed that the other one was their minion.
I mean...
Yeah.
What if...
Or
that
servant, or whatever, however you want to interpret that.
kind like if it weren't for the fact that Cuthbert spent 90% of the adventure being dragged around by the jangle,
Yeah.
I think he very quickly got the hang of the fact that he
is
wasn't in
true.
charge.
Jupiter has definitely adopted Cuthbert as his minion.
I think the thing to be aware of with Cuthbert is that he's not, I don't know, he doesn't covet leadership. He just has a lot of money. So he just normally finds himself in a situation where he can tell people what to do. But if someone else is there telling people what to do, he's like, cool, well, that's a load off my back.
Yeah, and the thing about Jupiter is that he loves telling people what to do.
So it worked out well. Oh, right, yeah, Luna can drink coffee, that is a point. Maybe a special dog coffee.
I mean, there is
dog
special, like, dog chocolate, as it were. You can get little treats for dogs that's like chocolate, but not actually chocolate. Or like bacon, but not actually bacon, because bacon's another thing that you really shouldn't be feeding dogs.
Luna's fine, don't worry about
Yes, I think you know the answer for that.
it. Yeah, I think it was someone described that that definite cat as a pained retail smile, pained retail face, or whatever it was. And so I was like, this image formed in my head of what if Luna was retail? Because I have to put Luna in all the most exhausting situations.
Yeah, that seems right.
Know exactly what's being said to Luna for that expression. Pictures you can hear. If it doesn't scan, does that mean it's free?
Things I can say I have never said to anyone working at a store. The absolute closest I have come is I've walked up to someone saying, "Hey, this was placed in the discount area, but it doesn't have a discount sticker. Is it supposed to be there? And if so, what's the discount on it?"
That's a fair question.
Same.
Yeah, that just feels like a reasonable question to ask. And the answer can be either way. It's either a no, that's not supposed to be there, someone messed up, thank you very much, I will put this somewhere else.
Also, I've never asked, do you charge for your bags? Like, yes, literally every shop on this island, yes, we do. I believe it's a legal requirement, right? For plastic reduction. I'll be honest, I think the only things I've really said to people in supermarkets have been, hey, thanks, bye, and on one particular occasion, thank you.
You said that in England, right?
Yeah. I was practicing for the Netherlands and I never said it.
Right. Smile, it can't be that bad.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
So do you work retail? Do you know that for sure?
Some people are just really...
Yeah, that's just a weird thing to say to anyone. Never mind someone who's there to, like, scan your groceries.
Like, because, like, just at a very practical level, are they expecting an answer? Like, what if the answer is yes, it is actually that bad? Yes, it's bad. I live in a capitalist hellscape. I am suffering from 5 different diseases. My dog just died, and my grandma's in the hospital. Like, and I have to be here at work because otherwise I won't be able to pay for any of these things. Like, what are you gonna do then, guy?
Oh, you don't have to be like that about it.
Well,
You
and now
underestimate
it's
people.
on them because it's like you asked, you literally brought this up. If you're not going to be here to make it better, at least don't contribute to make it worse.
Yeah. It's basically, a smile couldn't hurt. Come on.
Yeah, but that's still such a wild thing to say to someone. In my opinion, it might be cultural differences.
We have a slightly more passive-aggressive way of being rude to stuff in Britain.
It's also because I just in general, I don't know if I've ever seen, like, I already forgot the word. The person sitting at the register.
Cashier?
Cashier. I don't know if I've ever seen any of them smile. They're all just doing their job. They're just scanning things and then they give me the total. And maybe then they, like, give a smile and then I pay them and I go. They're just... But then again, like, talking to a cashier isn't also, like, a general thing over here. Unless you know the person. Otherwise, it's just whatever, like, supermarket talk you have to do to get the fuck out of there.
That's fair. Because, yeah, it's one thing to ask them a question that's, like, relevant to their job. Because I've definitely been in stores that were too damn big, walked up to someone who was wearing, like, what looked to be a work uniform and been like, right, cool, where is this?
Mm-hmm. I mean, now with like, if the English words aren't coming to me,
Fair.
like self-scan,
Yeah.
now it's even less that I have to interact with the people there. Usually they'll just ask to look in my bag to see if I stole something, which I haven't, so and then I'm just like, "Oh, thanks."
Does anyone else have
Bye.
that? Does anyone else have that feeling when that happens? Of like, oh god, what if I accidentally stole something?
A little bit, yeah.
I have that whenever like I hear a police car coming down my road. I'm like, oh god, what if I
Any
accidentally did a
place that's
crime that I forgot?
And any place that's reasonable sized will have some sort of insurance for that. Like anything that is small enough that you could have forgotten to walk up and pay for it will be easily covered by whatever loss insurance they have. Because at the very least, those places want some insurance for if they get products in that are broken. So you, even if you have actually stolen the thing, it is probably fine.
Yeah, probably. It's just general anxiety, you know? Just my brain going, oh, something is different, therefore something must be wrong. I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
Hey, Cheap. Hi. The phone is all like, no.
It's not generalized anxiety. Everyone has it, right? 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 That's normal, right?
Well, I tried short-haired Jupiter, and now I don't know what else to draw. That was all.
Long-haired Mora. Like real flowing like Jupiter locks.
Okay.
You say that, and now I've just gotten the image. But if Jupiter had a wig, Moira just stealing the wigs. Or even if Jupiter doesn't have a wig, stealing a wig that looks like Jupiter's hair and making it out to look like, oh, Jupiter's actually just bald.
I like how it's like, even if Jupiter's not in the equation, this wig is still getting stolen. Like, it's not getting bought.
No. Obviously, it's Moira. What did you expect? Moira says steal.
Moira doesn't have generalized anxiety about stealing things.
No.
You should all look up to the excellent role model that is Moira.
You mean look down? She's not that tall.
Well, yeah, but I'm not going to say that. Jim.
It's why she wears very tall heels.
I'm now just imagining her walking around on stilts.
She probably has for fun.
Just like, hey, Jesse, hey, look. What are you doing down there?
Hey, look, I'm... Hey, look, I'm tall.
What else do... Now that I've made... now that I've given Tori some time with the cat and made Luna work retail...
What else do you do?
What else
after
do you...
that?
I've basically run the whole gamut. What do...
I mean, don't you have some random spinny wheels of stuff? You could roll one of them and see what it pops up.
Yeah, but probably that involves finding them and remembering they exist.
Oh no. You have to do things.
Tiny Durgan tortoise. No detail. What does that mean? Okay, like, minimal, no detail. And I'm drawing filigree. Sad rat! And to step away to deal with dog. Did you miss the prompt? Of Moira with the long hair.
Feels weird.
Yeah, look at that smile. Head up!
It's dark.
Hello, Dark.
It's a Dark. I do like, today Dark was like, hey, if anyone's, wants to do some ESO stuff, I'm going to be playing for a large chunk of the day. Literally 10 minutes after I stopped playing and said I should do something else. This is perfectly bad timing on my part.
Wow. Can't believe you did that to Dark.
Such wisdom. That macrame.
I needed to do other adulty things like laundry and grad school stuff.
Grad school laundry.
I can't believe I got someone addicted to MMOs, again.
Again. This is why I never wanted to play an MMO. Because it steals your time.
It's like, oh, I know this place. I like this place. Or at the very least, I'm interested in this place. Although I am still sort of keeping the impression of like, our character has been just sort of isekai'd in here. Because while I have played Mia Skyrim and played a little bit of Oblivion, I think it was. Most of my experience playing those games is just sort of listening to the NPCs talk about stuff and then smiling and nodding. And that's just sort of continuing here where I'm just kind of like, yep, of course. I definitely understand what the heck is going on here.
See me playing ESO a whole lot more than Lord of the Rings Online. Look, ESO has fewer annoyances than Lord of the Rings Online. I like Lord of the Rings Online. It's chill. But traveling around in that game is very time consuming, and collecting materials is more annoying. Inventory space is just as annoying, although you can't upgrade it like you can in ESO. But ESO also just throws more and more things at you as you go along. So they've got their own foibles. Basically, ESO is built off the already, addictive gameplay loop of the Elder Scrolls game. Whereas Lord of the Rings Online is a more sort of traditional style of MMO, sort of top-down, press all the buttons sort of situation. I like Lord of the Rings Online.
Continue.
Dark is here to talk MMOs.
I have been summoned.
So, unrelated, but hilariously, my first experience with that particular bit of music is from a puzzle game. There's a company called Haircanon Software, something like that, that makes a bunch of little logic puzzle games, and all of them have music, and one of them has that as its background music for some reason.
Yeah. The reason may be copyright. I don't think the Bark estate is going to be chasing after anyone.
I mean, you say that, but you did have that one thing in Hitman that got dinged.
You can still copyright a recording, and that's where YouTube's system is woefully inadequate because it can't really tell the difference between a recording and just anyone else's version of it. But yeah, if you use somebody else's particular performance or recording of a copyright, there are two copyrights with music. There's the songwriting copyright and the performance copyright. It's all a bit of a mess.
Yes. But I came in to say that Lotro, yeah, it's an older one, but you need money.
Yeah.
As someone who spent money, like, the only reason I didn't have the same inconvenience is because I spent money. It's got a very bad business model. They give a lot of stuff away for free, and that's like their only real redeeming thing. If you want to play it for hardcore, it's going to take you a very long time.
Ooh.
But you can do everything for free. Yeah. But yeah, I think that would have been something we would have had to start when we were like 16.
Yay.
And then we might have gotten like halfway through by now.
Laptop crashed. Oh no. Lord of the Rings Online's that janky, is it? You can crash your laptop just by talking about it. MJ with the hair.
But no, getting back into ASO was a problem. I started actually looking up builds and all that jazz, and looking at stuff. It's like, I want to get stuff, but need to be level like higher. Basically, to do the stuff to get like the actual like end gamey stuff, everyone needs to be like level 50 and have a number of champion points to actually get your builds up and running.
See, this is the thing I don't understand about MMOs, is that I always hear people talk about like, you want to, in order to get things, up and running, and in order to sort of, get the build you want, what you're going to do is you want to get to end game. It's like, this starts at end game? That's not what end game means.
Yeah, that's always a little. I mean, it's one thing for like with the Pokemon series where it's like, hey, if you're into the like competitive battling at end game, a lot of things gets unlocked to make setting up a competitive battling team a lot more easy. That's at least like okay to me, because there's a whole game you're playing through that's a fun experience before you get to that point. And most people are not here for the competitive battling. They're here for the silly little guys that follow you around and you tell to smack other silly little guys.
Yeah. So what I mean with that is that's like the max level gear is, because there's no point getting everything together and then you level up and it becomes less than max.
Yeah.
So, like skills and stuff, that's whatever, that just keeps going. But actual gear, it's like champion level 160, that is max gear. You can't get any better than that. You keep leveling that, but then you can actually think about, okay, what do I want to stick with? What is optimal is not really a thought so much as just, what am I going to not have to keep replacing?
Who is this? Good question.
Long-haired MJ feels like a Disney cartoon character.
Like
They
short-haired Jupiter.
Short-haired Jupiter is... It's just a little bit of a difference, but yeah, very much the same. Of just like, this doesn't feel right. No, Chris is drawing. Short-haired member. No, I refuse.
As soon as I saw "Who is this?" the first thing that came to my head was LJ. So I was like, I need to give context for this.
There.
Why is it
Square.
like that? That's not how that works. Magma's weird.
SJMJLJ. See, even Magma thinks this is cursed.
There we go. Cast jail. That was just me copying and pasting. It can't do transparency with copy and paste apparently, so it just turns it to black. Weird.
To be fair, long-haired Moira is probably... as a teen.
Oh,
I did-
Crisp, I just saw Luna's little thought bubble. Yeah.
I'm gonna jump.
That is, as the kids say, a mood.
She deserves a jump. Oh, I should have drawn Griffin there, shouldn't I?
Yeah. It's not too late. You can turn that into Griff. He doesn't have facial features.
That's fine. Problem is now you can sort of see the... The problem with drawing Griffin there is that you don't draw... you have to erase. You don't draw anything.
Yes, and...
We'll just... I did not think about what was going
And
on.
then they ended up as colleagues.
Well, we can keep that.
How fun.
I mean, Griff is the type of person to ask that kind of question. Not because he's honestly thinking that, but it's because he knows it annoys you.
He still has the thought bubble whenever he speaks.
Fair enough.
She's just all the way through a meeting.
I've
Is
definitely known
like,
people where it's like, God, I can deal with you much better when I don't have to deal with you.
Are they scanning bread?
yes.
Well, you can tell the data room because the barcode's not at that bit.
It's whatever. This is a world of monsters. The barcodes can be wherever they want to be.
I mean, it does say error.
It does, yes.
Barcode is always at the bottom because then you can just put it across.
Look, I was halfway through this drawing and I was like, I don't actually know what a modern till looks like. I can draw the old-timey ones with the big lever buttons and things.
Yeah, that I can also tell.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, in a lot of stores I go into, they still have the old-timey tills. They just have a computer attached to them, which is a little awkward, but you know.
Mm.
It's cheaper. You know, Why would you spend money when you can just add on a little thing extra, and then when it all breaks, you replace it?
Convenience for your workers?
No, money. You spend as little money as possible. You keep fixing stuff, despite the fact that in the long term that will cost more.
Holding down spacebar and Alt is a way to rotate. Did not know that.
Oh, interesting.
I know control and spacebar is like zoom and stuff, and space is just pan.
Woo.
Woo. This is how I move. My hands. Whenever I'm doing digital art, my hand is just constantly hovering over Control Z and spacebar, just so I can do all the movements and undos.
That is like comfortable.
It's that. Well, that's the hand that doesn't get the pains. So slaps the touchscreen. Yeah, having a touchscreen is probably a much more intuitive way of doing it, but I'm used to this now. What am I drawing? What draw? Who else needs weird hair? Also, Chiba, I want you to know that in order to draw MJ normally, I wanted to look up Moira. And rather than, going to one of your websites and scrolling through your work, I just typed Moira into Google.
I'm surprised you got anything useful.
I didn't. And I then went to Ko-fi.
I was about to say, I don't think they're that famous yet.
Teen Tory. I don't want to make Teen Tory. I've already got a hard enough thing.
Oh, that brings up so many questions on how puberty, like what parts grew in first. Like, did he go wide and then tall, or did he go tall and then wide?
Whittle horns.
Really tall.
Just the widest baby.
Yeah, it needs to be the most awkward way possible.
What? Tory? Awkward? Never.
Just starting out wide as a baby, then going like full into the height as a teen, and then becoming wide again.
Oh, also, like, baby cows just have the worst legs.
Well, he's got human legs, so
It's
that's
a good
fine.
thing that Tori doesn't have has human legs then.
Okay, this is the thing I wanted to bring up, right? Tori's hands. I know
Yeah,
we all love
his
it.
hoof hands. That we all know and love, yes.
In doing research, this is gonna. People are gonna look at me like I have just learned that the world exists, but in doing research for October Noir, I've realised there are quite a lot of fundamental differences between horse hooves and cow hooves.
Yes.
And that
Yeah.
I've basically been drawing Tori as having horse hooves.
Yes.
Yeah,
Should I change
that's from the
that?
centaur part of the family. It's from same
I mean, it's your
same
art,
branch
Chris.
as cousin Troy.
It's your art, Chris. No one will stop you from sitting here going, we're changing these elements.
Listen,
It's not like it'd be
I
the
feel
first
like
time
when
you took a character and changed some things about them.
that, and also I feel like people aren't gonna look at Tori and go, that Minotaur has horse hooves, when everything else about Tori exists. With his hoof hands, regular person teeth, horrible mouth full of sharp teeth, and no ears.
This child has seen things.
Flynn styling his slime. Flynn can have whatever, quote, hair, unquote, style he wants.
Flynn with a pompadour. I don't know why my brain went there first, but I think it's a good image.
God, I'm now imagining someone taking parts of Flynn's head and just whipped creaming it.
Instead of like, having regular like hair tools, he just uses like a hand mixer. Hand mixer in a piping bag. Those are his hair tools.
Just scoops some bits off into a bowl, whips it up, and then splops it back on.
Exactly.
And when the air bubbles all settle back down, it's time to start over again. When his hair deflates.
His hair deflates. Different hairstyle. I don't think white baby Tori is okay. I think he's having a time.
As you can see, I'm very good at drawing children.
Mm-hmm.
This is practice for the calendar backstory comics. I did today actually I made a spreadsheet because that's how my brain works. Of how old each of the calendar siblings would be now, and then reverse engineered it to work out how old, like physically how old they would be when they were found. And there was a lot of fiddling around to try and make it work, because I don't know how old things are. How old do you think January is? You know?
Physically or spiritually?
Physically. No cheap viewers.
No cheap viewers. Only us.
Only the finest quality viewer. Twitch for some reason makes it so that you can't copy text to ban it. Oh well. Anyway, here's the spreadsheet.
Away it goes.
Away it goes. It probably changed, by the way. Just threw numbers in there. But there's some fun things in there. Which is that, like, physically, June was found at roughly the age of 18. And physically, February was found at roughly the age of 8. So some big discrepancy there.
I mean, how do you really age a body that's made with a bunch of different body parts anyway?
Nobody knows, but they've learned not to ask questions about their bodies. But yeah, so long story short, I've got to work out how to draw all of those characters at many different stages of their life.
Good.
God. Looking through article titles for educational journals is always a trip. Rhizomatic inquiry. What the fuck are you talking about?
The rhizomatic. Wallace and Gromit's newest invention.
People needs to learn that they just make up a lot of shit half the time. Now, sometimes that shit is so that they can more effectively talk about shit, but it's just kind of like, these are just sounds that you're making for some reason. And then other people decided to make the same sounds.
I mean, that's, yeah, language.
Christmas says him's missing a leg.
Oh, yeah. Tori, for all of Tori's many physical peculiarities, does have 2 legs.
What? Impossible.
Not true of all my characters. Notably Flynn, who has none.
Flynn can have as many legs as he wants.
Okay, I'm drawing it.
Your face will. Oh no. Willon has picked up a gun.
I'd say good for him, but that's probably bad for someone.
Bad for this.
And now Cresp is drawing leg crimes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Although this does bring up the question, is the average number of legs in this of your characters here less than 2 or greater than 2, on account of the fact that Flynn can change the number of legs?
Well, Flynn spends most of his time with no legs. So I feel like that's going to bring the average down purely in terms of, time taken.
Do you have characters with more than 2 legs?
Not really.
Yeah.
I don't have a centaur. Or a spider.
Yeah, because the only centaurs I've ever really seen you draw are other people's centaurs, so...
Yeah. Mostly bear centaurs. He's the only person I know that draws centaurs on account
Hey
of
Google,
horses.
how do I ban a streamer from their own stream?
Miss, you've never worked out how to do that. I believe in you, though. Keep trying.
Bear is really good at drawing horse bodies that look like horse bodies.
So good that they get flagged for nudity.
Yeah, well, shouldn't have become so good then, you know? Bear is a centaur.
Oh, that explains it. Better?
I thought bear was a cryptid. Do centaurs count as cryptids?
I don't think so.
I don't really know what the definition of a cryptid is. It's just a folklore creepy thing.
Yeah. I think it has to be kind of spooky.
Yes, I mean, whenever I see something described as a cryptid, there's always a level of one, creepiness, just inherent creepiness, and then 2, a bit more modern.
Yeah. Usually cryptids are a bit more.
Also, not usually
nowadays.
Also, cryptids, I feel like, aren't really connected with any sort of like particular religion or culture. They're just sort of there, disconnected from other things. Because like centaurs, I mean, there might be some other areas that have centaurs, but that's mostly Greek, and they're like there's Greek mythology stories with other Greek mythology deities and the like that centaurs appear in. There's even one centaur who, because like it's gonna depend on like what Greek stories you're flowing from, but the ones I'm most familiar with, the story of how centaurs came to be is basically a couple of gods got angry, and then a storm cloud birthed a bunch of centaurs who are just a bunch of mean assholes.
I mean,
but there's one
right
centaur
for
in
Greek myth.
like as you do in Greek mythology.
Spoilers for myth.
Yeah.
Boom! Here's a storm cloud. It's now given birth somehow. Don't ask questions.
Yeah.
But there's another centaur whose name I can never figure out how it's pronounced because no one seems to ever agree on this. I know it's not Charon, but it's similar enough that it's like I can't ever say them correctly. That's probably right. Where he's... I want to say he's a demigod. Like, I want to say one of his parents was a god.
I think he is one of the children of Apollo.
Yeah, something like that. I mainly remember that one of his main things is he's a scholar and a warrior, and he has trained some heroes.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's a child of Apollo, because I've spent far too much time on Apollo's Wikipedia page. Don't ask questions. We can...
Yeah, I don't remember if he's considered...
Yes, I have a favorite Greek god. It's normal.
It happens. But yeah, so he's disconnected from all the other centaurs that just got birthed out of a cloud, who mostly just go around raiding and drinking and the like.
Yeah.
And again, that's like connected to a larger body of mythology, as opposed to just being here's a weird guy who lives in the woods. Why? Who knows? Woods are weird.
I like that Flint's pompadour is basically Hal's hairstyle.
Oh yeah, I can draw one
This
pompadour.
you know how to draw one pompadour.
The best you get. The Hera centaurs are their own things too. The ones that were cursed warriors that were protecting the baby Dynas. Centaurs just keep happening. They're like crabs.
Yes.
Centaurization. It keeps happening. Are there centaurs but with other animals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that answers that question. Moving on.
I'm trying to think of specific examples right now, but I believe so, yeah.
Like a bear tour.
There is, I think, half crab slash lobster centaurs and like Greek
Oh yeah.
myth and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, there's a giant scorpion one in Dark Souls, I suppose.
I mean, just in
Yeah,
general,
but that's
there's
also
a lot
people
of
like making up the
half-human,
thing
half-
for cool points. Like, there's a difference between we piggybacked
opposed to
off
myth.
of an existing mythology idea for our IP versus this is something from stories.
Yeah, there's the difference between people, nowadays going, let's just come up with something cool, and people several thousand years ago thinking, let's come up with something cool.
Yeah, but usually with the modern stuff, you can point at a particular person
Yeah,
or
that's
at least a particular work.
There's a
With this
theory
old stuff,
that
it's like, who
centaurs
the heck
came
even knows?
from
Because, like,
mythologizing of a tribe of people that were such good equestrian athletes that horse and rider seemed like one of them. Honestly, I believe it.
Yeah.
I can subscribe
Yeah,
to that theory.
makes sense with like Sagittarius. He was just such a good horse archer.
Yeah.
And such a good what?
The Greek.
Don't even know how to Sarge.
They'd be very much in contact with everything that's to the east of it, and to the east of it were a lot of like equestrian peoples and tribes, so yeah, I believe that.
Jeeb believes it. It passes the Jeeb test.
It passes the cheap test, and therefore it's true. It's factual. I did that.
Spoilers for myth, it was Jeeb.
Spoilers for myth, it was cheap.
because, like, from a more modern standpoint, my first thought when the question is, do we have centaurs but of other creatures? My first thought goes to driders, but that's definitely someone made this up as part of their story type thing, and I'm sure if I look it up, I can point to a particular D&D writer who first came up with the idea of let's just glue a dark elf on top of a spider.
Yeah. But also, like,
Be more imaginative than that.
just in general, a lot throughout time and history, a lot of mythological creatures and folklore has been, what if we put a human on a thing? What if we just did that? Or what if we put another animal on a thing? What if we do, like, 4 animals together? What about that? And, you know,
Or just, here's an animal we haven't seen before. The
yeah.
only way we can describe it is by using descriptions of other animals. And thus, when we
Mhm.
describe it to someone else, they're like, well, that's weird.
Yeah.
And then there's the, I know I saw somewhere floating around that one hypothesis for where the Cyclops ideas for the Cyclops came from was people in Greece finding the skull of an elephant and being like, cool. Well, that's weird. There's this giant hole in the front that's sort of where the eyes should be placed, but there's only one of them. I guess whatever this was has one eyeball and it's huge.
Yeah.
Except that's not where the eye goes, that's the nasal cavity.
You also can't ignore the possibility that it was exaggerating Jeff, who said, "Oh, I saw this thing when I was out hunting, and that's why I didn't get anything. And it was huge, and it had 4 heads, and it had a lion's body
yeah.
in it."
True, and
I
also...
caught a fish that was this big.
Yeah,
I mean,
and had
that's like...
9 heads.
Yeah.
God damn it,
Because...
Jeff.
You also gotta keep that in mind, and like, you know, things of like, oh, people back in the day knew that wasn't like a thing because it's exaggerating Jeff. Everybody knows about exaggerating Jeff. And then later, people didn't know about exaggerating Jeff anymore, and were like, I can't believe people believe this.
But it was actually exaggerating Jeff.
I mean, it's oh god, what's his name? It's
Exaggerating. Or as he calls himself, the wonderful, fantastic,
Baron
amazing...
von Munchausen.
Oh
I
yeah,
believe,
Munchausen, yeah.
who just made up whatever the fuck he could and just who was like, yeah, I fired a cannon and then I jumped on the cannonball and I traveled on the cannonball to a different location where I hopped off the cannonball and spent the day there. You know.
Are you telling me he didn't do that?
I think it was a bit of a case of exaggerating Jeff.
Yeah, it's no longer called Munchausen's syndrome, it's now exaggerating Jeff syndrome.
It's far less subtle, you don't have to know the context for that one.
Problem with exaggerating Jeff syndrome is that when you have it, your head explodes and then the universe turns into soup, and then 500 monsters come chasing after you, and it's very similar to I've forgotten the name of it now. What's it called? Hypochondria, that's the one.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of creatures exist as a result of ancient propaganda, dehumanizing the other. Like adlets saying people over the border are monsters, beings, that it's okay, even good to kill them, and then we in the modern world are going, oh, I love them, some of us. Yeah.
Yeah, gotta be careful with, you know, dehumanizing your enemies. Because someone might go, yeah, I'm into that shit. And now you've got a whole new problem on your hands, honestly. Don't know how to combat that one.
See, this is a fun instance in which a centaur-like creature has the same number of legs, but a different number of arms, question mark?
What?
Wings, arms? Wings are arms, right?
So
Uh,
I
when
mean,
it
they're wings.
yeah,
when
they're
it
wings.
comes to like describing limbs, it's usually a little less described as legs and arms, and more you've got forelimbs and hind limbs.
Well, this has got 6 limbs, so...
And then it's a matter of like, okay, what kind of locomotion do we have? Do we have bipedal locomotion? Do we have quadruped locomotion? Because you can have something where, like, yes, they use their forelimbs as hands, but they move around on all 4 limbs. So, like, a lot of monkeys aren't really bipedal. They use their arms as legs. It's just that they also use their arms as arms. They just have to be like stopped to do so.
um... It's a Canara. Canara? Ooh.
What's a canara?
It's a Canara. Hope that answers your question. Canara is a creature from Hindu and Buddhist mythology. They are described as part human, part bird, and have a strong association with music and love.
Good for them.
Yeah. Or my version of a siren.
Sirens really can be whatever the fuck people want them to be.
I do need to design a
Yeah,
siren.
it's interesting because
October
in
Noir.
some stories we've got, oh, these are sirens and they're bird ladies, and then in others it's like, oh, these are sirens and they're fish ladies, and it's like, cool.
Yeah.
Just
And then you
because
look at like ancient Greek sirens and they're birds with a lady face.
Yeah.
And boobs. Don't forget the boobs.
Yeah, bird with just lady head on top and then tits out.
Yeah. Tits out is not necessary, but the lady face is.
I mean, how are they going to make a bra if they've got everything else bub? Except for tits for some reason.
What if you misunderstood the assignment
Free the Tata? I don't know.
and you just designed a siren based off of a tit, like a blue tit?
Yeah. The tit has tits.
You see, you wanted tits, right? You specified. I looked up so many pictures of blue tits.
Yeah, that's where you went wrong. They never specified blue tits.
See, it's just reminding me of a picture I've seen floating around of
Great tits.
two massive tits and a wet pussy, and it's a picture of two large tits, as in the bird, and then just the most begrazzled looking cat.
Yeah, what a great tits, right? It really carries. Like, you could, boobies can also be thrown into the mix here.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other words for tits that are also words for birds? There's a Venn diagram here. You need to make this Venn diagram, which funnily enough would look like boobs. But actually, no, it wouldn't look like boobs because they'd overlap. That's the whole point. Yeah, I stole Mrs. joke as well. I keep beating chat to it. A siren with great tits. And you just get like...
I'm just imagining like classic Greek siren of just bird with lady face just nesting on a blue tit nest. Just little baby little baby birds.
Yeah, and Bear has a point. On the other side of things, you also have cocks and peckers.
Mm-hmm. It keeps
Woodpecker.
happening.
Ah, we've made a siren.
Siren with two tits.
How many
I don't
tits
actually know
are
what
there?
tits look like. Either version.
I mean, we know that.
There's also just a bird called a tit. Also a great tit.
And also the great-breasted booby.
I called it. Why are there so many tits?
Someone
Oh, yeah,
was
cult it.
having
About
fun
that.
when they named that. I don't know what kind of fun, but they were having fun.
Good for them.
It's just one bird that's just been reskinned. That's all the animal kingdom is. You just take one animal and you change the color, you reskin it.
Are we talking taxidermy?
Except for Siberian tigers, they just kind of...
Unironically, yes, actually. There's a reason why most oh god, what's the name for animals with spines? Fuck.
Vertebrates.
Vertebrates, there we go. There's a reason why the skeletal structure of most vertebrates looks more or less the same. We're all using the same bones, just different ratios.
Cheap, I want you to know that when people say the word ratio, I now think of Dr. Ratio.
Good. As God intended.
I don't know how long I studied maths for, but that's just all gone.
It's all Dr. Ratio
It's all
now.
Dr. Ratio.
And his annoying voice.
There we go. I've designed a character in October & Co. who you should absolutely not tell the office gossip to.
But what if?
But if it's something you
gotta
need passed around the
tell them
office,
that Tori has a crush on October's sibling. That's just gotta happen. That blasts throughout the entire building.
To be fair, that is obvious to everybody but August.
True. But also, I think it'd be funny. Listen, you don't have any other ships that I can, play with. I'm making do, okay?
I have one.
You.
I have one other ship. Which is a character you don't know, with a character I've drawn like twice.
Cool, great, thanks.
One day I'll make white coats, and then you'll see Malachi's sister's girlfriend.
it's really funny to me because, I'm thinking, because I'm like, surely we've got some parents floating around that can be shipped, but every parent I can think of is either off screen and annoying, or we only see one parent. So we can't even do the boring married route of shipping.
When do we see one parent?
With what's the name of that little scamp? Avonvale.
Oh yes. Yeah. What about Avonvale? Pero and Mira.
Yeah, we've
that's
only
just
got one parent
there. And nobody to ship with. Just
Look, art is a reflection of oneself.
You have nobody.
I have nobody. Well, I wasn't going to go that depressing with it, but...
Does 3-3 also work in October & Co.'s office?
You might as well.
It's 3-3, right?
3-3, yeah.
3-3.
3-3.
Yeah, I cannot pronounce my first. Tree versus 3 sounds very...
Again, it's the whole, when you change languages, your R's fundamentally change, because...
Yeah. I cannot roll my R's in English. Do it all the time in my native language, but then in English I'm just like, nope. R's don't exist in English.
It's okay.
I mean, depending on where the person is from, yes, they don't exist.
Could be like Jonathan Watt. All the R's are W's.
Mm.
We actually have multiple R's, which is weird. Depends where you're from, though. Any individual person has one, but they vary as you go around. I was going to say something. What was it? Oh yeah, robots. Robots. My rule for October & Co. is that characters in them should be in some way monsters. Cryptids are good. Modern, fun monster cliches good. Old myth monsters grand. Cool film stuff, all grand. And I had a kind of a thing of like, I'm sort of riding this idea with Opie and the hotel, and I'm like, this would I feel like this would work in the world of October and Co. But could I justify Opie as being a monster?
He's also like a construct, technically.
Exactly.
Isn't
Like, it can't be the
Like-
fact that they're artificial that is
Yeah.
disqualifies them, because that's also true of October.
he? Yeah. I think OP counts. He has a soul. If that's the qualifier we're going with.
I mean, robots are used as monsters in a lot of different horror films, so...
This in the 50s and 60s, God knows how many films were made with robots as the monster.
Yeah.
So that means you could include Jurgen.
You
Oh.
could include Jurgen.
I already have haunted dolls. That's perfectly fine.
Have you ever considered putting Jurgen in October and Co?
Have
Just
you
for a little
Have
bit.
you ever considered locking Claudio and Jurgen in a room?
Have you ever considered that?
Oh, I have no idea how that would end. That's...
I now just want Jurgen to haunt the October and Co building. Does he
What?
work there?
Are they here for a meeting? He keeps
Who
staring through the window.
knows?
Every time we have this meeting, this time of the week, they're just looking through the window.
They could be the intern. I knew it.
New intern.
New intern.
Haunted little German boy.
Jurgen immediately works out what's going on. Knows the job
Yeah,
from the start.
Jurgen knows what's going on. October still doesn't. October is asked to lead the new intern, but the intern knows more about what's going on.
And every time October tries to eke information out, it's be like, so is it going well? They're just like, yep, no, I understand, you can leave. Like, yeah, but I want to check your... Nope.
Exactly. October will never figure out what's going on.
I had an ending to October and Co, and it involved that. I'm reticent to talk about it in case I do end up making it, but I probably won't because I've got 700 other ideas.
Talk about it.
Well, basically, the ending was essentially going to be, basically October gets laid off because company restructure. But there's like a whole bit of like there are going to be layoffs and everyone's like freaking out. Is it going to be me? So on and so forth. And Luna and October have a bit of a chat, and Luna's like, "Oh, it'll be fine. Don't worry. Everything will be great. We'll sort it out. We'll work it out." And October's like, "That's cool. Thank you. How does Luna, the not manager, feel?" And Luna's like, "I'm terrified." And so they just have this little sort of heart to heart about their job. And October goes, "Yeah, I probably should have mentioned this earlier. I don't know what I do." And Luna's like, "Didn't Reggie tell you? Reggie was supposed to. He was supposed to tell you." And October's like, "I don't think Reggie's alive. Reggie hasn't said anything." And Luna's like, "Oh, thank God! I thought that was just me."
Perfect.
That was going to be the payoff to Reggie. Because everyone has gaslit themselves into thinking that Reggie is actually a person that's moving and doing work. And maybe
Wonderful.
they are, but not when they're
Maybe
looking.
they are.
Maybe they are, but not when anyone's looking.
Yeah, like a fucking
They are the weeping angel.
weeping angel situation. Yeah,
Slouching
weeping
angel.
angel, but it's just a dead guy. It's not a beautiful angel statue, just some guy on the ground
mean-
dead.
Good old Reggie Mortis.
It's rude to point out that your coworker is dead.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's going to get you put into sensitivity training if you start doing that.
Yeah, it's also just in general weird to point out someone's dead in a world that, like, where zombies, ghouls, ghosts, etc., exist. Like, yeah. They know.
There is a ghost in the
Do you,
office.
do you have like a weeping angel in October?
No, I don't have any creepy statues. Well, I mean, I have Hunk and Punk gargoyles.
I think the dynamic of someone who works in the office, but you can only work when people aren't looking. That's fine.
It works well. That's just me, really. Anyone observes me, I just fall apart, which is weird for a streamer. The other thing I remembered just now. Was the very end of October & Co. was going to be like October getting home and having been fired, and sort of going to bed, and then as soon as they get in bed, their phone rings and it's a little text from Tori saying, "Hey, do you want to hang out at the weekend?" And they use a little emoji, which is a little
Cute.
their attempt at replicating their little horn.
That's adorable. Tori and Toby are besties. Besties forever.
Yeah. Tori was just happy, like someone talked to him, basically. Just wasn't treated. Just wasn't like constantly interacting with him as like the person who screws everything up.
Mm-hmm. I mean, to be fair, if your other coworker is Griff, I get it.
Yeah. I still one of my favorite comics is still the duct tape one.
Yeah.
Of, you know, Tori very earnestly burning Griff by wrapping his hands in duct tape and going, "Now you try."
Deserved.
Just with zero malice, just pure pure like I know how to explain this.
Yeah. Tori is very good.
Tori's a good. A bit of an idiot, but also good. All of my characters are a
That's
bit of
the
an
best. Tori truly himbo.
idiot. This was the thing I was thinking is in a lot of instances my characters can generally be described as an idiot in this place and a genius in this place. Or maybe a slight, weakening of that, just sort of pretty good at this and quite bad at that, or whatever. So everyone has their ups and downs and so on and so forth. I think October's the exception. October doesn't really have any major strengths or weaknesses. They just kind of float through.
What? Sorry, you cut out for me.
Oh, Discord has been playing up. When did I cut out? In my round.
October.
October.
Oh,
October's is.
Oh, was that the first October or the second?
This is the first.
The first, okay. October's the exception because a lot of my characters are like go by the principle that I've observed mostly of people, which is that they are really, really good in some areas of life and really, really bad at others. No one is a complete idiot or a complete genius. So I always try and have that sort of balance with characters. What are they really good at? What are they really bad at? And October's sort of not. October's just sort of fine. Just as kind of floating through life, trying to be content. Trying to be content. They have no like major exceptional skills, but they're also not terrible at anything apart from potentially, standing up and asking questions about what their job is. But yeah, it's just sort of interesting that my the protagonist of one of my things is the one who doesn't have anything remarkable about them.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I like them. They're cool. And they interact with the world in an
Yeah.
interesting way. Bear had a good...
October is wonderful.
Yeah.
But it also just suits the story they're in, of just like if they knew what they, you know, I don't know what's going on. But if they were bad at it all, then it would also not be fun, because then you just have a bumbling idiot.
I got that observation. He was going to say October's a great POV character. I remember when you wrote the description of them under the painting you did of like, yeah, being a good POV character as being sort of passive and sort of letting the world wash over them. So I didn't think about it like that. I just thought I made someone who was quite boring to watch.
No,
I like
they're
October.
cute.
I like them. They're
Toby
cute.
is wonderful.
I do like.
Octobus.
I do like how in one of the comics, like PD tries to come up with a nickname for October, and like Toby or whatever. Octo was someone else, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And like one of the suggestions is Toby, and October's like, eh. But now that we're spelling it with an I, it's different.
It makes all the difference, okay? The I just makes it. Toby.
Hang on. I mean, I have to draw something. Feel free to talk.
Oh, it was like, I thought you were like trying to find something, or
No, I just had an idea.
oh, good. Yeah, I think October is wonderful.
I'm glad people like them.
A good child.
I also feel a bit bad whenever I talk about my characters, because it's like I mentioned Claudio back then, without giving any explanation as to who Claudio is.
No,
It's like, why would I keep expecting people to know all my characters when I have 700 characters?
listen. If we don't know, we'll ask.
Yeah, all nod and smile.
Yeah, either or.
I mean, I've been in academia long enough to know that sometimes it's just like, cool, I will get the context eventually.
Mhm.
Or I won't, and I will move on with my life.
Yeah. Also, everyone has read October Hunter.
Yeah, but
I have decided.
Everyone is. But there's still like, God knows that. Like, okay, how many people know the name of the ghost?
That one's different. Because that one's just a ghost.
They have a name.
I'm sure they do, but they have shown up in like 2 of them, but I don't remember their name at all.
It might not even be
I
mentioned.
know
Yeah, there's
what
also
they
some
look like.
characters that just like don't show up as often,
Yeah.
and or aren't referred to by name all that often. So like Claudio has come up a couple of times both in the comic and then just in random doodling things. So like we've seen Claudio.
I have had
We all know Claudio.
I've had Claudio almost as long as I've had October. Claudio has been
Yeah.
in my back pocket for a long time.
But like there are some others where it's like I remember this character, but I don't remember all of the details about them.
Yeah.
Because it's like God, Purdy, I think was their name.
Purdy was the
Purdy. I love Purdy.
first aid. Yeah.
I only PD. Wait a minute. We've used that already.
Yeah. Wanted Plague Doctor PD, but no, already done. Also,
So like that's literally the only reason why I remember that character's name. But like the giant Godzilla-y kaiju character that October has talked to sometimes up on the rooftop. I don't remember their name.
I don't think they ever had a name. To be fair.
Also
well, if they ever had one, I don't remember it.
That was going to be a recurring thing, because that was going to be like October's friend from college. They just sort of confide in.
You didn't give them a name.
Yeah.
Tisk.
I mean, the Ghost was also going to be a recurring character, but I couldn't really write anything interesting for them. And you don't know their name either?
The Ghost was just... I do like their gags, but I understand they're very hard to write, because it is just... the Ghost doing a thing, and then just not really caring about what anyone else does with that thing.
They're just in their own world.
Yeah. Well, and then you've got others where like, and I don't remember what sort of insect it was, but there was a gag of like Luna asking October to look on top of a cabinet or something to see if there was like a spider up there.
Oh yeah. I do have
And
a
then it turns
multi-leg.
out, oh yeah, there is a spider up there. They're supposed to be working, and Luna gets annoyed at them. And I know Luna said the spider's name, but I don't remember what it was.
God knows, throwaway thing, Jeff probably.
Yeah, no idea. To be or to be. Oh, Chris, that's so stupid.
It works. It works well.
It works, but also you're silly.
It works in the stupidest possible way, which is my way.
Hell yeah.
Let October be a theater kid.
Yes. Put them in the
Oh
school.
God, I'm not putting October on a stage.
Don't they have enough problems?
You don't have to now. Just baby October on the stage as villager number 2 in the school play. And the whole family just being super excited.
They do not have a line.
No, it's not a speaking role.
And yet,
but still, as soon
there's
as
an
Toby comes
entire
on
row of
stage,
siblings that all stand up and cheer when he gets on stage.
It's the that bit for the Addams family. They just all stand up and start.
Yeah, everyone around him is just like, what happened? Who is what? Did someone important come on stage? Also hasn't simply start clapping.
They're all just so proud.
They're all so proud.
Giving me more comics to make.
That was always the plan, Chris. More comics. We demand.
Game was written from the start.
Yes.
And then you get shot in the head for its ideas instead of a bullet.
Just constantly getting blasted by shotgun fire. Ideas.
It's a long distance shotgun.
It's think fast, but thinking is all the ideas. Now I'm thinking, should I adjust October's discovery age so that we can have more school shenanigans?
Little baby Toby.
I mean, we could draw whatever we want. It doesn't have to be canon. Canon's made up.
And canon
I
is
mean-
fake anyway,
Yeah.
especially when you make it up yourself.
Exactly. I mean, also bear in mind, like, October Noir has its completely separate canon for how they got discovered and all that. So it could be whatever you want. Also, October Noir doesn't exist.
I mean, regardless
Yeah.
of how old or not old October is still the baby.
Yes, that's just facts.
Not the baby. That's September.
Yes, but also the baby. Not the baby, but the baby. I mean, all the siblings have definitely gone to September's concerts and stuff to just be like
Oh, yeah.
the most out there.
According to my list, October is physically, at least, the third youngest after November and September. But November does not. November's much more mature. I'm not sure about mature, but not baby.
Not baby, yeah.
September and October are the babies.
Good for them.
Every now and then, you just step back and go, this whole conversation is predicated on the obscure and almost soon to be forgotten lore about my characters, which are made up in my head. What is happening? What is this conversation?
Don't have an existential crisis about it, just enjoy it.
I mean, you've also drawn the majority of them and made comics of them so far, and also
They're on the interwebs.
talked
Chris.
out ideas about them on streams.
They're real. They exist. And we love them. And we can talk about them. I've talked about far more conceptual fake characters than yours. Trust me.
Let's have a deep dive on what's another obscure character of mine? Oh, we could go white coats.
Yeah, but we don't. You know, we don't really know anything about white.
Let's talk about Roberto from White Coats.
I don't know who that is. Have you drawn them?
Yes.
Yeah, because you did draw like a couple of the white coats at some point. I was like,
It was
coloring
practice for commissions
practice
that
or
I never
something?
did.
Yeah.
And now I look back on them and I'm like, wow, didn't know much about lighting then, did I?
That's art, baby.
I just put everything on there.
That's why I'm always like weird by commission sheets, because it's always the fuck did I pick? This art that I made like 3 months ago and is completely different than what I do now? Cool. I don't have anything more recent, so I guess I'll use that.
Yeah, I don't know. Never did finish that, did I? Did I finish that? Kind of finished.
What are you showing up?
Hang on, I'll stick it in Discord.
Well, that's an SCP.
I mean, kind of literally, yeah.
Hmm.
This was from Whitecoats. This was the nightmare.
It looks really cool. I like the way you did that.
Thank you.
What is it?
It's the nightmare.
It's a nightmare.
It's a nightmare from
It's-
the popular Whitecoats episode Ex Vivo.
Is, is it made out of discarded piping?
No, it's sort of tassely.
Yeah, fuzzy.
Yeah, big
Is
fuzzy
this
thing,
the
fog-light
remnants
eyes.
of Mophead's past.
Blasting light out of its eyes.
Yeah. It's a nightmare.
That just happens.
Its job is to spook you in a dream.
This would spook me in a dream.
Good. Failure. Spoilers, it fails in its job of spooking people in a dream and then gets really grumpy.
Cute.
It's like, ugh, one job.
Now I would be less spooked by it, knowing that.
Takes spooking very seriously.
So in the Dragon Age games, you can in realm type thing, but also there's some things in there where it's like, some spirits are nice and some are demons that'll try and steal your soul via nightmares, and you run into the demon, the nightmare, that form of spiders. Kiro, never play this, please. But because the devs have fun with it, I guess they named all of the spiders against as the names of a bunch of different fears, up to and including one of them that is named, ironically, Spiders. As in, that's what it is called. The title, like, its name is ironically Spiders, both words.
Hello, Mr. Spiders. Oh, please, call me ironically.
I only played one, and I didn't go into the fate because I killed the kid.
What? What?
That is a thing you can do.
Yep.
And to be perfectly honest, Mood, the aspects of the Fade that you deal with in the first game are so annoying. There's at least 2 different mods that are like, cool, here's a mod to make you not have to do this and or make it easier.
So I was playing a dwarf, and I was going for the, no, we are here to stop the thing. We are being efficient and quick with this, so... Not great.
So you just...
It's not a nice person. Like, one of the decisions is to make golems or not make golems. Making golems is morally wrong. I went with the make golems because they're good soldiers. It's fine, I died at the end, so I didn't have to face any of the consequences.
I go with make golems because
Yes.
I have characters who are golems and I like them.
Dragon Age golems are not something you want to be.
Oh,
No. When it's revealed, like, they seem great, and then it's revealed how they're made, and then you're like, oh, okay, maybe we shouldn't make golems, because that's very, very bad. But
So
very
there's the
soft.
thing where it's like most of the golems, it's like these weren't volunteers.
No.
They're made using people, and a lot of these people did not volunteer for this.
On the plus side, the prisoner population did decrease significantly after my actions.
I'm interrupting
Dragon Age is a
Golem
pretty
chat to
dark
say I'm
game.
gonna go.
oh right.
Because this word keeps cutting out for me.
Yeah, it keeps doing that for me as well. So might end the stream because Discord's
Yeah.
rude.
Have a good night,
Have a
everyone.
good night, Jib.
Bye.
Bye.
But yes, let's also end the stream because I'm hearing bits of conversations. I'm getting the gist of it. But yeah. Also, I would like to defend my use of golems. However, one of the golems is Wick. So
You should play Dragon Age on stream. Like the first one.
And
If you do, you will want a couple mods because it's not designed with modern 64-bit computers in mind.
No, I think I've still got all the mods I used when I was playing it. Good game. A lot of choices.
a lot of choices, you say.
A lot of choices. As said, some involve kill child, don't kill child.
And you're never going to make everyone happy with you. It's just not happening.
Every choice actually affects stuff.
What?
There's very few choices that have little consequence. There's
Hang
always
on.
something that's like one choice I made had an impact so long later that I completely forgot about it until they mentioned it again. It's like, oh yeah, I did do that. Crap.
That's not how games work. I've played Elder Scrolls. That's not how games are supposed to have random choices that don't do anything.
No. This is BioWare. Games of choices have consequences.
Bioshock.
Choices don't have consequences. Except for what ending you get.
Speaking of endings. God, I took way too long to come up with that segue.
I was waiting for it, and I gave it.
You set it up for me, and I was distracted looking at a weird smudge on my shoe. Metaphorically, not literally. I'm not wearing shoes. But yee. Thanks for coming, everybody. We'll be back on Tuesday, starting September's comic, and playing the Void Bastards. Void Boys. Space shoots, and all that. If people are still interested in watching that, I don't know. Maybe it'll take us up to spooky season. Maybe I'll play something else. Who knows? I don't. For now, though, thank you for coming along. Thanks for doodling. Thanks for chatting. Have a good week. Look after yourselves. Bye, 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 bye.
Bye.